of kick-off. Here's a check on the sides. Healy, Herring and Porter at the front row for Ireland. Tyke Byrne in the second row alongside James Ryan. Ireland without Ryan Birdie and Henderson Quinn Rue in the second row, so Tyke Byrne gets his chance. Connors in the number 7 shirt makes his debut. Murray and Sexton almost always start for Ireland these days. 9 and 10. Aki gets the nod ahead of Henshaw in the centre alongside Ringrose. Stockdale will be an interesting watch at full back. Keenan and Conway either side of him. As for the Italians, well, they're led by their captain Luca Bigi in the number 2 jersey, Fischetti, Zilocchi either side, Lazzaroni and Canoni in the second row. Pelledri plays his rugby with Gloucester. All the rest of those players are based in the Italian clubs of Zebre and Benetton. Violi and the young man Garbisi, what a day for him, making his debut just 20 years old. Lots expected of him. Carlo Cana wearing number 12 normally starts at number 10. He starts at 12 today, provides that extra playmaker for the Italians, but they're going to need to win the ball first. Substitutes, and there are a couple of new caps on both sides. We'll talk about them a little bit later. But this is what it's all about. Dowie Morris alongside me.
It is indeed, Ryle. Yes, we'll be waiting 8 long months for this fixture to be played. New coaches, new players, everybody wanting to put smiles on the fans' faces. It's time to reset and restart the Guinness Six Nations. Italy would take any win, but Ireland need a performance that includes tries and points, which would set up a winner-takes-all scenario next week in round 5.
Yes, Dowie, absolutely so much to look forward to. We're off and running at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, the resumption of the Guinness Six Nations. It's Ireland against Italy. And after such a long break, it's going to be interesting to see if the sides, of course, back playing with their clubs, just how easily they settle into this. It's a start all over again for them. And immediately, Luca Morisi is under pressure. With ball in hand as Ireland flood in that defensive line. Taken on by the captain, Bigi. And Violi will get his hands on it and back to the young man, Garbisi. And he gets a good kick away. Jacob Stockdale is well positioned. I think he just put a toe and touch Dowie.
He did indeed. The touch judge has seen him. But that's intent from Italy. That young lad there. He's the first guy really to actually claim, I think, the 10 role and feel relaxed, even though he's only 20 years of age. Franco Smith said, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and straight away he wants to move that ball in the front of his post to get his backs with the ball in hand.
And Italy have taken the line out quickly. The referee, Matt Carley,
all in the line out,
is going to bring everybody back. It's worth saying it's been a real issue for Italy over the last decades, really since Dominguez retired all those years ago from the number 10 shirt. They haven't been able to settle and build a team around a good 10.
And that's the key. That's the key for Italy. They've got good forwards, they've got good ball carrying forwards, they get into positions, but they never really seem to finish things off.
Hold in front, hold, all onside.
And Conway waits for this one and takes Andrew Conway, winning his 22nd cap today, and that one finds its way to touch. But the Italians will be happy enough, having dealt with the kickoff, exited reasonably well, and they find themselves up on the Irish 10-metre line.
That's right, yeah, not the best of kicks from Conway. Probably could have gone long, didn't need really to put the ball into touch. But again, it's a good position for Bigi now. He was very passionate in that warm-up, wasn't he? Singing the anthem, and he wants a good start from his men.
And they've taken another clean line out, and it's Cana. As I said, normally starts at half for Zebre, wearing 12 today. And then Pelledri, the Gloucester number 8. And the clear-out work is good. That is the sizable shape of Marco Lazzaroni, the 25-year-old second row, who takes it on. Ireland again up quickly, but up too quickly, and the Italians have made a break, and there's an opportunity for them maybe to get on the board early. What a break, and put to ground is Violi. The numbers arrive, an advantage being played, and Ireland are shaken, and the Italians are stirred, and almost away, a clean line break, and they give away the penalty, and I think it's going to be even more than that, as a yellow card is likely to be produced.
Not clearly releasing.
And it's Conor Murray who finds himself going to the sin bin, and Ireland rocked and shocked as the Italians build from their own 22, get the clean line break, and now the penalty.
Good refereeing as well from Matthew Carley, stamping his authority. So basically you know, you're on the wrong side, you're down to 14 men for 10 minutes, but again, tremendous intent. Ireland just seem to be on the bus, still on the bus at the moment in times. And that young lad with the ball in hand, this should be 3-point start for Italy. It could have been even more if his partner in crime, Violi, had a little bit more pace. He'd have been underneath the post. But again, a great start for Italy, great intent.
Yeah, there was a lack of intensity about Ireland in that exchange, and the Italians exploited it really well. And Garbisi, it's the first attempt, and it would have been a dream first attempt, straight in front of the posts, and the Italians lead it by 3-0.
It's just a great break, isn't it? Nigre just got that straight up the middle, and he's just brought down Violi, and that's when Murray there is on the ball. Well, actually, he's actually on his feet, he's on the ball, and then he goes to the floor.
Yeah, interesting. It looked okay initially.
In the right position. What happens he probably didn't do, and then it's released straight away when he got taken off his feet. That's the only thing that could have happened there.
Sexton with the restart, and that will surely spark Ireland into a little bit of action in terms of intensity as Herring comes up to make the tackle on Cana, and they've turned that into a maul. Tyke Byrne there as well, and that's a good response from Ireland.
It's Donnacha Ryan for me. When he used to play for Ireland, it's that choke tackle. He was the artist that used to get his big arms underneath the ball and hold it up, and Ireland there have just responded superbly. A tremendous kick-off from Sexton. Conway running up there, and you can see the press now. It's Herring there, he's getting the ball, he gets his hands underneath the ball, his arms underneath the Italian's arm, holds him up for 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, turnover, and a fantastic position now for Ireland.
And they have put into the first scrum of the afternoon, and they're going to have a scrum half because Conor Murray is in the bin. So it looks to me like Gary Ringrose has got his hands on the ball. It is indeed Ringrose, centre, 30th international cap, who will substitute at scrum half.
And it's one of the hardest positions to play, as you know, Ryle. I mean, a lot of pressure.
Says the former 26 times capped scrum half of England.
Stay onside,
solid scrum.
Use it.
Front rows have gone down. Stander pops it to Ringrose, to Aki, and the tackle comes from Cana. He's going to be tested in defence. Caleb Doris gets his hand on the ball, and Ringrose goes in to try and secure possession. The Italians told to let it go, and they do, and Ireland punch down the narrower of the two sides through CJ Stander. Advantage now, free play for Ireland. Connors gets his hand on the ball, good tackle from Vigi. And Sexton with the crossfield kick, and Conway is out here and he slaps it back volleyball style. Did really well to keep the ball in play, but no real advantage accruing, so back will go for the penalty at the breakdown over on the far side.
Yeah, and that's the way Ireland want to do it, is keep the ball. You've got 6 minutes or so of down to 14 guys, so again it's marshalling what happens when that guy is off, and that's a good retort from Ireland, a good kick-off, and like I said, from Johnny Sexton. Pressure in the press of the defensive line coming up, and basically got the ball back, and now they've got a chance for 3, or will he want more? Well, this bonus point, obviously Ireland got a great chance in this championship to win today. If they win with a bonus point, they go top of the table, and then it will come down to the last round 5 with points difference and tries, so they'll want as many as they can. But again,
and in that context, Ireland go to France next week. France on 13 points, England go to Italy on 13 points, so this may well come down to try scored and points, so everything's going to count, and Ireland know that as the Italians go in search of their first points in the table in this game. Herring at the back of a maul that's a little bit messy, didn't set itself as well as they would have liked, but it's advantage to Ireland, and Ringrose peels around the corner. The centre comes scrum half, sets Ireland up. Herring will now play scrum half. Tyke Byrne is the one to carry. Somebody needs to get into the number 9 channel. They do. It's Ringrose again, and he drives the legs at that Italian line. It's scramble and desperate defence for the Italians right now. Ireland, remember, down to 14 as Cian Healy has a little dart. Advantage again as Stander goes for the line. Doesn't get there. Connors has a knock at the door, but it's shut in his face. All the time Ireland building. Are they there? I think they are. It's CJ Stander who gets over, but it's pats on the back and on the head for all of the 8 who created the pressure and kept control, and Farrell's men have their first try of the afternoon after 8 minutes.
And they concentrated, and it all came from that restart kick after that penalty. Ringrose is playing 9 there. He makes a dart, presents the ball superbly well, and this is the experience. Now Ringrose, not naturally a 9, goes himself, probably put that ball out, could put that ball to one of his back row forwards, hasn't done, and now it's all about being patient. And CJ Stander, again, absorbs 2 tackles, or tacklers I should say, and has the strength to get that ball down. A good response from Ireland.
Bramstein could not do much as Jonathan Sexton tees up a straightforward conversion. Through the posts it goes, and after a very jittery opening 3 minutes for the home side, they found their feet and they found their rhythm. Despite being down to 14, they lead it by 7 points to 3.
Yeah, Andy Farrell will be very, very happy. There he goes, on cue. Simon Easterby, forwards coach, next to him on his left there. So again, that's what you want from your players. Again, it was a sluggish start, we said that. It's bound to be, really, you know, not playing international rugby in 8 months, but that's exactly what you want from a coach. Come back into the game and come back in with a try.
Ringrose will continue in the scrum half position. Keane Healy there for Ireland, and it's back with Sexton, who decides that getting it downfield is what's required. BC feels it, and into play comes Jaden Hayward, the New Zealander.
Tackle, move away!
Plays his club rugby with Benetton, 33 years of age now. Pass back from Canone, and Carlo Cana is the man in possession. Violi digs it out. And the Italians continue to keep ball in hand, and they're mixing it up between backs and forwards. Just need a little bit more momentum in terms of getting it across the gain line. And Fischetti, winning his 4th international cap, is the man to carry it. Ireland up quickly through Keane Healy, and the tackle is made on Morisi. Zilocci, the prop forward to Cana, little dink from the centre, and it's well taken and well managed by Bramstein. Violi once more, and then Fischetti. Good little passage of play from the Italians through the phases, but not a lot of ground gain despite the little dink kick from Cana. Stain again, but this time he's slightly exposed, and Ireland were over it.
And Ireland will be delighted, players, coaches, fans watching, because again, that was a tremendous set of defensive presses, putting pressure on. As you see, Conor Murray just desperate to get back on. He's got 2 minutes to wait. Stockdale's been doing a good job so far, but again, that was a good press, and eventually turning the ball over. Italy just going from side to side, really no forward momentum, and that comes, just sort of brings out frustration in them, because again, they don't quite know what to do. They're looking for somebody else to make a break, and no one did, and Ireland turned that ball over.
Sexton probes the touchline and gets decent distance out of it into the 22. There was a little kick from Cana that Bramstein latched onto.
Yeah, you always like to have one of your back row forwards possibly out wide.
Bundyaki latches onto a long line out. Quick ball again for Ireland, but there's a little knock forward there. They were just trying to force it, maybe a touch, and it'll be a scrum to the Italians.
Again, Gary Ringrose doing an admirable job at scrum half. Bundyaki over the top, takes some stopping there, but again, it's the presentation of the ball. That one, it just quite wasn't there from Ringrose, unfortunately. It's just on your shins where you want it, really on your belly button.
Good space, okay, good height.
He'll be relatively happy, I'm sure.
Good scrum. Here we go. Okay, time on. Patience for it to be stable, yeah?
Franco
Yeah,
Smith,
no problem.
South African,
Off the arm so he can get up.
taking over from Conor O'Shea as the Italian head coach after the World Cup.
Crouch! Fine!
Interesting department, yeah. I mean,
Set!
you're always building for a World Cup straight after the end of the last World Cup, but there's only 10 caps of experience in that Italy front
Number
row,
3,
and that
binding
probably
on the
told
arm
there,
and
I am no
collapsing.
expert.
Binding on
Well,
the
you've got
arm
someone
and
like Keane
collapsing.
Healy
Number
there
3.
on 99 caps. over to you then. Right.
Clearly on the top of
It's
the arm, on the
Zilowski
bicep, and then he collapsed.
who
Number 3.
is penalised, and straight in front of the post. This is a gimme 3 for Sexton. There's a little bit of a chat, and the decision is take the points while you're here, and it'll also mean the reintroduction of Conor Murray as the sin bin.
Absolutely. Be sensible on
Winds
it.
down.
Again, somebody's gone down on the knee. Matt Carley in an absolute perfect position. Herring enjoying that one, as do the the Ireland props. That's one in the bar later. Not that you can go to a bar for a drink over in Ireland at the moment, so maybe an orange juice in the bath.
Fine.
Over it goes, as you'd expect from Jonathan Sexton, heading towards 14 minutes. Ireland in control of it now by 10 points to 3. Sexton, along with Thierry Dusautoir, one of the 2 world players of the year of the last decade of world rugby in the Northern Hemisphere. All the rest coming from their cousins in the Southern Hemisphere.
But they're going to have to find someone though, aren't they, Ireland? What is he now, 35, did he say?
35.
35, so he's not going to go to the next World Cup.
He is, if you listen to him.
Well, okay.
And the obvious replacement for him, Joey Carberry's gone through a real injury crisis. Ian Madigan there. Ross Byrne, his understudy at Leinster, is the substitute today.
As we said, Ryle, it's nice to see Italy with a new guy, 20-year-old guy, given a chance to develop and have the experience. Ireland desperately need that because it's such a key position outside home.
Good clearance from Sexton, and the Italians will restart with a throw of the line out just short of the 10-metre line.
Don't step across, okay?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Mike Catt's influence as well on this side. Obviously coaching Italy last year, back with Farrell at Ireland now. The line out stats pretty good. But again, how he will develop this Irish backline, you know, with or without Sexton, it doesn't matter. But you're going to have to do that, because I think a lot of people are getting a little bit fed up of the box kicking strategy, whatever. And what happens then when England, when they played him last time, stopped at the breakdown, were more physical, read the box kicking. You've got to have a plan B. But at the moment, Ireland are doing well, turning the ball over. That's 2 times now on the trot.
It's Porter that is credited with the turnover. Variation of the theme on the line out from the Italians, who threw it short to their scrum half, Violi, who was standing at the front of the line out. But they didn't manage it, having collected it, and Ireland turn it over, and a chance now for Sexton with 2 kicks effectively to get Ireland right back inside the Italian 22, and they will have the advantage of the throw into the line out.
Great kick down there, but again, it's interesting to see the work that front row forwards, the modern day front row forwards do now. The more tackles you can do, well, you help your back row out, but actually Healy as well, and now Porter, it's just over the ball, almost like you said, like another couple of sevens. They've got to do their job in the scrum, but also anything they can do outside that is a bonus.
And they do not control their own line out, and that's core from Ireland in that position. When the Italians have turned it over, got a man in the air, and
no one on their feet. Number 6 is the first player.
But they have won it back, and here is Doris, who pumps the legs and gets Ireland up to the 22. Murray, Sexton took his eye off it, knocked it backwards. Canna says thank you very much, and gobbles up possession. Mistakes on both sides, and back with Gorbisi.
Hold if you're in front, blue.
That one is fired down the middle of the park. Waiting and catching and taking is Jacob Stockdale, Ulster full back. Well managed by Italy. Hayward to Gorbisi.
Let him go
Runs
now.
into a big tackle. I think it was Connors. BG supported over on that far wing by Tarovani. And then Lazzaroni, but Connors up really quickly to make the tackle, and that's what he's there to do. Will Connors pick to chop players down behind the gain line. So far, he's done it well. Conway, Italy up quickly out wide. Conway had to change his point of attack. Got BC there to make the tackle. Stander shuffles it on. Sexton ring rows, and Lazzaroni makes the tackle. James Ryan carries and gets
Not
a bit
on
of
the ball,
forward
on the
momentum,
body.
and Murray will dig it out for Sexton. And this one's going high and cross field, and Hayward is scampering across. He covered the ground really well. Hayward saw a little gap and ran into a big hit from Bundyaki. That one was a bone tingler. Bellini at scrum half. Fischetti carries.
No, stay back.
Got
Hold if you're in front, Blue. 3, 5.
Sexton underneath this one.
Okay.
A little bit of foot tennis from the referee.
No advance, sorry. Penalty here. Green 12.
Green 12,
Do we need to put it
Bundyaki.
on the screen, or happy just
Must
a
have been
penalty?
offside, Roll.
I think he may have deliberately obstructed.
He's disagreeing with
use
whatever
your
it
arms.
is, isn't it? No arms tackle, obstruction.
Tackle. I have to say I didn't see
Okay.
it.
You
No,
need to
both
see a
sides
clear wrap,
reverting
just
back
a penalty because
to
the
the
player is
kick, whether it be a
significantly
diagonal
falling
kick
to the
or
ground.
almost an up and under there. But again, that passage of play came from a bit of rustiness. It's bound to be rusty both sides. Turnover from Italy taking the ball in, and then one bad pass turnover from Johnny Sexton in Ireland. So both teams finding each other out, making mistakes, but it's early days. Still got quite a lot of time to go.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh, what's happening here?
And we're going to go back now and look at that no arms tackle. The referee Matt Carty's had his
Time off,
attention
please.
called by Tom Foley, the TMO. This was the tackle I said was a bit of a bone cruncher, and
Nothing in that.
Hayward, did he?
At the moment, we think it's just on ball. We just need to double check.
Okay, Tom.
Look, he
So we've
has
got that
made
significant
contact
factor
with
of
his
the other
shoulder.
player chopping the
I
legs,
think
which is
it's
creating
just
the
a
big
penalty.
drop.
The guy's
Agree.
been chopped
I agree with you. We don't
literally down.
have a clear wrap, but it looks like the shoulder hits directly onto the ball, which then causes the whiplash
Agree.
effect. Yeah. Yeah, you happy, Christoph? Luke, you are in agreement with that? Okay.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Just needed to check that contact.
You'll understand why we just had to look at that. The player is significantly dropping. It's on the ball, which then causes the whiplash, so we will just be penalty only.
Yeah, my immediate
Right, we'll look.
reaction
If it's something clear,
when
then it would come
Aki
up,
hit
but
Hayward was it was
Ronnie,
a bone cruncher.
we'll be looking now, okay?
You can see
Just
as
a
the
penalty,
referee, when the
okay?
referee
Players
and
falling.
his officials have described it exactly what happened.
That's good referee. He had to go to the TMO, but you could see Bundyaki actually trying to take his shoulder out of the equation in a sense. But again, it's a penalty.
Make sure our cleaner
question.
is on his feet, okay? So the clear out is on his feet.
There you go. Everybody can have a breather and calm down.
Luca, so you're clearly on his feet, and then we will look. Yeah, thank you.
And Cana is the one to take the penalty and send the Italians back into
Come on, let's
Irish
go.
territory.
Yeah.
Always interesting to see two specialist
Yeah,
out
yeah.
halves playing in a back line at 10 and 12. It
Clear
just
number if
gives
you're going to come now.
you options about how
It's
you
all
play
in then,
down.
Blue, please.
Indeed, it gives
Let's
you
come.
it's the second receiver in a sense. You can have a fullback doing that role, but predominantly it's nice that if he's there, he knows exactly what to do. Get an injury exactly, he knows exactly what to do. But
Okay,
gives
that's
you
in 5, line out
lots
over.
of options.
Maul!
Luca Bigi at the back of the maul.
One stop!
And the attacking maul is a trademark of both
Use
Benetton
it!
and Zebre, two predominant professional clubs in Italy. So you'll see a lot of that from an Italian side. Hayward with ball in hand sets Padovani free for a couple of meters, and this is better from Italy. Bigi on a decent angle, but he's caught by Connors. Violi again down the narrower of the two sides, and the scrum half looking for quick ball once more. Up quickly comes CJ Standard to knock down his opposite number, Jake Pelledri. And Ireland have done another good
7
job of the
clearly on his
breakdown.
feet.
7.
Number 1 off his feet. Stay up.
7 clearly on his feet is Will Connors, and the young man is having
Number 1
a
off his
reasonably
feet.
significant impact in the opening 20 minutes of his international career.
Will Connors, the lumberjack, the chopper. I'm coaching down at Whittington Park, my junior club in Cheshire, and I tell the lads, chop. They can't. No one could go anywhere without the legs. Don't go too high, you get bounced off. And I've watched his show reel in a sense. Didn't know too much about it. I don't mind a minute, Will Connors, but my goodness me, he does chop, and it's the way to do it. That's the initial break, and that's the changeover and turnover.
And then he went.
Yeah.
Come off.
And that actually gives, but if you've got a flank forward or a guy at the back, chopping someone down, your 6 or your 8's looking, well, I know what he's going to do, so he's going to drop this guy, and then you actually get your timing to get over top of that ball, because he's going to put it on the deck.
There's a possession statistic for the first quarter of this game. Italy with more ball, but Ireland are the ones that have had the territorial advantage.
But predominantly, Ryle, throughout the Six Nations, I know it's truncated and we've haven't had a game for 8 months or so, but they carry more. I mean, I think they lead the Six Nations with carries an average of about 139 a game, and running meters. It's what they do when they get in the 22, and that's why they need a 10. That's why they need a 9. A good combination, an experienced combination to pull those triggers, because they have got units that can take the ball in there. It's what they do with them. They don't come away with enough points. That's what I'm saying.
Bundyaki didn't quite get the pass away. Kana is in, and Carlo Kana at 12 has had his impact in this game as well. As I said, always or usually a 10, but on this occasion 12, but he's done well defensively.
He's had a great impact, like you said, a second receiver. He's got a lot to do. He kicks for touch. He's kicking for touch now, and Bundyaki is a threat. He's a big lad out there. All of a sudden he's just bump stripped him, and now they've got a chance to relieve a bit of pressure and gain a bit of territory. That'll do him. Here it comes. It's that Sexton run round with CJ Stander, but he's just picked his pocket. Literally picked his pocket. Someone's in offside position, and look at that, they've gained 20-25 metres.
Thank you. Yeah, just circuit clear, eh?
Biji's throw.
That's some more.
Taken by
Right, now it's over.
Canoni. The ball, says the referee, and Ireland have turned it over again.
They're doing very well at that. It wasn't quite the choke tackle, but that man again, Porter, he is getting everywhere. Whether he's jackling over top of the ball, he's just in the the right place at the right time for Ireland, but the wrong place for. You see his arms just in, he can't get it back. He stays in that position, and he's allowed to do that. He hasn't come around the side because he was there originally, and then he's just flopping on the top and gets a penalty.
Not on the arm.
Or free kick, I should say.
Fight for good height, gents.
The modern day props. Goodness me. It wouldn't have happened in my day, that's for sure. That's their job. Get down and push.
Crouch!
Italy with just the one scrum penalty.
Fine!
They'll be trying to maybe put a few problems Ireland's way with this one. That's pretty good from Ireland.
Yeah, it's locked out by the Irish eights. At the feet of CJ Stander, and Murray finds Aki as the first receiver, and Sexton wraps around him, and Conway comes off his wing. Murray again, back inside for Bundyaki, and Aki's away. Bundyaki got Keenan there in support. Will Connors runs into a big tackle in midfield. Conor Murray picks out Stander, and they try to work that blind side. Open now. Caelan Doris had to just reset. Didn't quite get the angle of the pass from Murray. But Ireland still have the ball. Kick from Ringrose, and Conway will go and chase it out, and Ireland push the Italians back to their own 22.
Well, Bundyaki, again, it's the Bundyaki show at the moment. Straight off that line, and he moved to 10. Sexton looped around him. Again, then contact was made, and Bundyaki ball back inside. And that's where he's so strong. He just brushes off that side. Sexton this time standing in that position. And that's, my goodness me, that's Bram Stein. The open side flanking on, like watching that back. That's Bundyaki's strength.
Another penalty.
Number 7, you've tackled him and then you've stayed on the ball. Move away, please.
And what do they do now?
It's not a maul, clearly not a maul.
If I was Mr. Sexton, I'd be going into the corner.
Well, he's heard you, which is probably likely, actually. We're so close and it's so quiet.
It is weird, isn't it? I've got to say, for those obviously watching on television, it's the weirdest thing ever to come to an international ground and have no and you can hear everything without doubt what the players are saying. But again, this bonus point so crucial for Ireland. That's why they're going into the corner. Obviously, to win the game, get 4 tries, you get up to 5 points. They go on to 14 points. England on 13, France on 13.
Herring goes towards the tail and finds CJ Stander. The Italians lie in wait, and stop that from happening. It's really well defended by Italy. Saw what was coming and dealt with it really well. Kick downfield. Over the head of Jacob Stockdale, who was to reload on. I think he was outside the 22 when he kicked that, and he's done really well because it's bounced in play on its way out. That was a very fine margin to Ireland finding themselves back inside their own 22.
It's called lucky, but again, Italy doing a fantastic job here.
Stay there, please.
That is just Pellegrini picking that ball up and waiting to go, and that's their intent, is to go. But Mr. Stockdale, you are lucky. Again, he is outside his 22, so that was a mistake. And he will say he put it on a sixpence, but he got out of jail.
Blue, stay!
Some injury concern for Ireland over on the far side in the 22. We'll deal with that in a moment. Follow the game for now. Conway, you can see the medical staff over on that far side. I think it's Gary Ringrose as Jaden Hayward takes the ball for Italy, and up to the 10-metre line he goes. Tackle is made by Connors again.
Stay there now. Hold back, Connor.
Violi, the scrum half, got knocked off his feet, so he's a little bit slow getting that ball away.
Connor, get out. I'll deal with that.
Got BC.
No, stay 8.
Ringrose is being led away at the moment as Stockdale fields the ball once more.
Oh, Green, come.
And we're playing foot tennis again.
Good.
And you can see Ringrose just out of picture there now, just come onto the right-hand side, so it looks like he's got a serious injury of some sort. Like you said, it's 15 love, 30-15. Oh, that's about. Oh.
He got away with that. Had that bounced into the arms of Padovani, there was an acre of space in front of him as Ringrose makes way, and Henshaw is the able replacement for Ireland, winning his 44th international cap.
Not bad. Yeah, he's again. Just here, it's a HIA, obviously head injury assessment.
So what you did at that breakdown.
Hopefully for Ringrose he won't be off for long, but Henshaw will be delighted in a way that he's actually on the pitch and can try and have a go at the Italian midfield, where Canna has been outstanding, I've got to say.
He's in 5, play on. Timing was fine.
Got BC.
Yeah, okay.
And back there is Hugo Keenan. Real chance for him to try and open up Italy, but just as I say it, he kicks it down the throat of Hayward. Tackle was good.
Good counter
his
up,
own
play
kick.
on.
Tyburn was there as well, and Ireland at the breakdown once more.
Let's walk
so you
away.
could say there is method in the madness of the kicking game, because again, Hayward decided to run back, but there was no support to him. And in the modern international game now, if you're not there within 2.5 seconds or so, the big push will come from the other side, and they've just turned that over.
No,
this is right in front of the posts.
You'll want the same. That's the do, Johnny.
No, he's going to go into the corner again. They messed up last time. They've already got one try, but they messed up last time.
And into the corner it goes.
Let's look at the assistant, please, number 1.
And building their performance on some pretty strong defending. 6 tackles missed, 51 made. The Reds show you where they missed them.
Stay blue, stay.
And the dominant tackles and the turnovers won. That's a combination of 9 in a half an hour.
More.
For those that don't know, the dominant tackle is when you stop the opposition.
Still moving.
Well, Ireland, Italy need to stop Ireland here because they're just creeping forward.
Don't move.
Moving it infield, which is sensible, because that opens up the options for Murray, left or right.
And Murray now takes and feeds Bundyaki and Henshaw, and the wide pass out is to Keenan, and he steps back inside. He's going to get a try on debut. Hugo Keenan in for Ireland, who have their second try, and a big broad smile on the young man's face. Dreams are made of moments like that.
Connor.
The 7's expert turned into the 15's expert. That's tremendous on your debut to get the ball in hand. I think it's probably one of the second time that he's had it. Again, it's just simple hands. They were practicing this with Mike Canna, the width of the pass before, and he's just come over. Canna doesn't like that too. He just steps inside, takes the hit from the defence, and enough strength to go over. But again, it came from a good line out. They crept inside, and then they pulled the trigger, and this guy finished.
And as you say, Dowie, the maul moving infield meant that Italian defence was stretched because they had to look at the numbers they had on the narrow side, and it just created that little bit of space out wide.
Basically, that's what happens with the maul. You attract, you've got to keep the Italians in, they've got to stay in there, otherwise, you know, the force of the Irish pack will just take you over, and then it's up to the 9 and up to this guy again to pull that trigger on when that ball goes.
They're right.
Great angle on what faces Jonathan Sexton. Struck it beautifully. Beautiful to watch. Over it goes. It's the full 7 for Ireland. It gives them a 17 points to 3 lead.
Great pass there from Hencho, who's just come on for Ringrose, and that's what you need, people who come on and make a slight difference or do the basics
Onside,
absolutely
guys,
superbly well,
please.
and that's all he needs is a bit of space and give me that ball, and he'll know that. And it's good because what also do is 17-3, it now forces Italy, they've got to come out and play. Have they got the potential to do it? Yes, they have, but have they got the skill level? Possibly not.
Stander turns the corner and gets a yard, and Conor Murray will set Ireland off again. Lots been made about the
Outside
development
and taken
of
in.
Ireland in terms of
Taken in.
getting themselves into a position where they can perform at a World Cup and really challenge, you know, and that's about, and it's been identified about having some form of expansive game. That it just doesn't become about, as you say, that box-kicking effort that they performed. Stockdale goes on a run, and that's what he can do from 15. And the pass goes to Keenan, and he's going to get in again, you know. Hugo Keenan. Oh, what a couple of minutes for the young man. But credit Jacob Stockdale. Found a way through the traffic, and Ireland are in for their 3rd try, and that is why Stockdale is selected at 15.
Okay, Tom.
And you can see why. Defensively, yes, he's had his doubters, I'm one of them, but attacking-wise, he seems to have more space. He seems to enjoy it more at 15. Just the second. Is Matt Carley having a look at something? Is he possibly the part? Anyway, I think he's given the try. Well, we are looking at something, but talking to Stockdale, he just ripped that midfield there. Again, he's got incredible hands, incredible feet, and he's got a tremendous eye for a gap. Possibly at 15 he gets more chance to expose defences, as he just done there. Because if this goes in...
He's kept it in play there.
Is there any obstruction? There's a little bit. I don't think... that, well, the pass there was straight. There was no problem at all.
Just coming up on the screen now. We're just going to show you.
There's an official review of this, so
all I could see from that, Ryle, is
yes, mate,
he
we're just getting the
started his
angle.
run.
Just bear with us.
I think it was one of the forwards.
I'm going to show you the high behind
high
first,
behind,
just to show the overall picture.
that got in the way.
And James Ryan and Lazzaroni are the two, and Ryan just stood his ground.
In the line, isn't it?
Yeah, so green 5
That's
is in front of the
green
ball carrier. Just
5.
having a look to see if he has any impact.
TMO is asking for. Here it is.
Yeah, there's an arm comes out and a foot comes out potentially.
He has put his
Yeah,
arm
so
out.
it's an Irish green 5 is in front of
somebody.
the ball carrier, preventing a potential tackle there.
And gives him a little bit of a bump.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so it's no try.
No try.
Correct.
Yeah, little grab as well. Luke, are you in agreement there? Yeah, okay.
And
No
that's
try.
it.
Everybody's in agreement.
Steps across, he also puts his arm out and tries to grab him as well. It's no try. Right,
Referee.
where are we, Tom? Halfway? No
He
try.
can't believe it. He's trying to hide.
James Ryan. It is one of those things.
Here, back you go. It's a penalty, guys. It's a penalty.
He tried to hide it, but he
Instruction
was
number
running
5.
a sort of slight angle. And that guy makes the decisions. He's not frightened of making those
We'll just double check the mark.
serious decisions, but that would have been so good for Ireland.
Yeah,
They would have
no
gone
problem.
on from
Check.
there.
No, we've
I'm
checked.
sure they still will go on and win this game handsomely the way they've started it. But that would have been a death nail for Italy. 2 tries, in 2 minutes from Keenan. All of a sudden they're right back, 80 metres down. Here we go. James Ryan is there.
Stay off, guys.
He is being held back a little. You've got to say, I know, Ryle.
No. I think it's one of those calls that could have gone either way. And the referee clear with his officials. There was deliberate obstruction, and you can see why it was chalked off. So the Italians, who could have been under their posts, looking at a conversion attempt, find themselves inside the Irish 22. And it's with Bigi, and they try to get that maul working. In has gone Morisi wearing 13. Bigi and the Italian pack sort of crab around the corner and then get a bit more momentum going. And Ireland are in there. And so far legally, but the ball, as you can see, is at the back of the maul once more, and Violi slapping people on the back saying, "Give it to me now," which he does. And the Italians are about 8 meters short. Lazzaroni plays scrum half.
And away, no 8!
Violi, Bigi, Byrne there to make the tackle. Healy also. Polledri. Need to get a bit of forward momentum here, the Italians. Morisi, Violi, Garbisi tries to take on his man, but Henshaw shuts him down. And the scrum
pulled to the floor, let it come on the blue side, he was pulled to floor
again,
by blue.
They're losing yards, no momentum, but now a little spark from...
No, 23.
Mattia Bellini.
No, back.
Cian Healy wanted to have a go, referee told him not to. Hayward feeds Zilocci. Bigi once more. Tackle from Connors.
It's on the body, not the ball. No!
Leave us, says the referee.
Stay out.
And Fischetti. The Italians now making a little bit of headway with their carries. Better from the pack. Polledri. And now it's taken on by Bastien Negri. Bigi again. Ireland have 3 men there to make the tackle on that occasion. 13 phases. Herring, the latest to put his body in front of a big Italian carrying forward. Cannone, side to side a little again from the Italians. Can they find a way to unlock this Irish defence? Ryan makes the tackle. Violi taken on by Bellini. Ireland go after it at the breakdown. Caelan Doris. Referee says that's okay. And we're going to continue, and Bundyaki will feed Conor Murray, and Murray in space as Ireland go in search of another try from one end to the other. Keenan's gone after it. Where's the ball going to bounce? Oh, what a try! From one end to the other. And Keenan has his second try. And Ireland defended everything the Italians could throw at them and then go from one end to the other.
Well, he felt like crying when it was wiped off about 2-3 minutes ago, and now he can smile because we're not going back for this. We're not going for the TMO. Ireland doing a superb stint defensively. Was it 14-15 turnovers? And that's the crucial 15-14 phases from Italy, and that's the crucial one. That's Doris making the difference, and I thought initially then Murray had gone the wrong way. He came back in field, as you see this break now. Beautiful hands, Bundyaki. Then if he'd have carried on going right, Keenan would have had his hands, but he didn't. He went left, made the decision, put it on the toe, and this time you can celebrate.
I have to say, my initial thought was that Doris knocked it forward in that strip after the ruck at the last breakdown, but the television match official and referee happy to let it go. Another piece of information is that Robbie Henshaw is staying on. Gary Ringrose won't be back. And as we approach half-time, Jonathan Sexton has an opportunity to add another 2. Similar position to the last one, and the same result.
That is tremendous. Just 24-3 it was going to be, then the try got wiped out, and it could have been 17-10 if Italy had scored. Come on, you're a TMO now.
No, it was off his thigh.
It's off his thigh, but it's also a rip from the Italian, I think. So that says it's a dead ball in a sense. And this is some finish again. He bides his time. It's not an easy skill to do that because you can grab at it. The bench love it, and Keenan loves it even more.
And credit Conor Murray for providing an inch-perfect kick at the right angle at the right pace.
He did go the wrong way initially to the right. He should have gone to the left, but again, all that experience. He's a class player. Just made up for it and just put it in the right place at the right time. Then Keenan didn't have to do that much, but he just had to bide time and use his skill set.
No one, out.
Retries now, Ryle. Just one more for that bonus.
Big left foot to Jacob Stockdale called on, and he fires it downfield. Quickly followed up by Keenan to stop Italy taking a quick throw in. Inside the final 2 minutes of the first half, and here is the table as it stands. Ireland, England and France all locked on 13 points, with Scotland 3 further back. Ireland, with a fourth try, would go 1 point ahead at the top of the table.
Then it goes to points difference, then it goes to tries scored. What a round 5 we're going to have of this Guinness Six Nations. It just keeps giving.
3, okay, thank you. It's taken in, I believe.
Here's Stockdale. He's growing into this one, isn't he? A little bit more room now to manoeuvre Henshaw.
No problem.
We're hearing that Gary Ringrose passed his HIA but has been kept off the field for another injury, which we haven't had specified just yet. But Ringrose passed the HIA, but he is being kept off. Murray, as one of the Italian players, is in some distress on this near side. Ireland will continue on. Referee happy to let the game go. Keenan is having an absolute field day now.
He wants a hat-trick.
James Ryan. Will Connors in to cover off any Italian attempted poach, and a kick in behind from Jonathan Sexton, and it'll go into touch on that far side, and we will have time for one more phase of play.
Again, the back three are playing superbly well. As we can see. White says it's Gray.
I think on the far side.
It's down for Italy. Again, a big ball carrier, big influence on the Italian pack. But again, going back to Ireland, that back three, both wingers can play 15, as we know. But they're just enjoying it. There's a bit more space as this game goes on. I think there'll be even more space. And they're just the interactive play, and it's just nice to watch. And in that situation of this, Sexton just rolling into the corner, saying, OK, if we can get something out of this, great. But 3 tries in the first half, as Franco Smith looks on. It's pretty good.
37. Will we have that
and they started so well, the Italians. The opening 5 or 6 minutes, they really were on it, and Ireland were, I think, rocked a little bit by it. But
the clock is wrong. It's meant to be 39, 37.
Italians have withered as the game has gone on. 7 tackles missed of those 56 made, and it's crucial where those turnovers
39, 37.
and dominant tackles by comparison to Ireland, just not the same sort of heat chart.
It's that physicality, that line speed that Ireland bring into their game. Apart from the first couple of minutes when I said they were still on the bus. But again, it's all working together. It's speed, someone triggers it, someone leads that defensive line. And if you use it as a unit, you almost just get the breath out of that sort of attack inside. They don't quite know where to look, and you're in people's faces and eyes, and everybody's shouting. And it's working for Ireland at the moment.
Biji's okay, as is Luca Morisi, who looked like he was in real trouble, but he's okay to continue to the half-time break at least.
Time on. 6. Count me down from 10, please, Barry.
Ireland will surely put the squeeze on this Italian line out, but it's dealt with well by Pelledri. And Italy, you feel, will just want to squeeze this one down. They just to the 40-minute mark, into touch and into the changing room.
Get back in the changing room. Don't leak any more points whatsoever. Don't give any penalties away. Get that into the red and use it.
No, Ireland, no.
There it goes.
There it goes, and that is the last action of a first half. A first half where the Italians burst into the game and got a penalty reward, but Ireland grew into it as time went on. CJ Stander with the first try, and then 2 more from the debutant Hugo Keenan. And at the half-time break, no doubt Andy Farrell and his backroom staff will feel there's more to do, but they've got to be happy enough with what they've seen on their first day back. The half-time score at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin is Ireland 24, Italy 3. Welcome back to the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, and as the Italians make their way back out onto the pitch on a very mild autumn day in Ireland, late October, and it's not quite shirt sleeves, but it isn't bad. And the Italians, well, what can they do, if anything, to turn this one around, or at least to improve the performance, Dowie?
They've just got to get in the right places. I know it sounds stupid and silly. Unfortunately, they're giving away too many penalties. There's 7 penalties to 4, so they get in areas, and as they have done in this truncated, as I said before, Six Nations in the first couple of games, they get in the right places, but it's converting those places into points. It's the quality of the drives of the forwards. I don't think their back row, which is one of their strengths, have carried very hard today. But you've got to give credit to that man and his team, Andy Farrell and Ireland, because their line speed has been outstanding. So the only thing then to beat that is actually chips over the top, little grubbers through, and then all of a sudden that's one way of doing it. But if you don't get that right, Ireland will just pick it up with the Stockdales or the Keenans, who's already got 2 tries, and score another one. And Ireland are flying at the moment. They're a bit of a rusty start, but they've got and found their straps pretty early on with that man there. He's on debut, 2 tries, well done.
No changes in that Irish side from the one that finished the first half. There was a change during the first half. Gary Ringrose, if you're joining us late, had to leave the game, and Robbie Henshaw is in his place. And looking at the Italian side, don't see any changes there either. So it's as you were for Italy.
Okay, no countdown, Sean, we can just play. Yeah, okay, 1 second. Okay, time on, please.
And referee Matt Carley, sharp blow with the whistle, and we're up and running with the second half of this Guinness Six Nations game at the Aviva Stadium, and CJ Stander in Ireland will set about getting that 4th try and securing a bonus point as early as they possibly can, you feel, in this second half. The Italians, well, it's never lost, but I feel it might be about performance and improvement from them rather than realistically believing that they can win this game.
It's a tackle, move away!
Murray, high one. I haven't seen too much box kicking from Conor Murray in that first half. Ireland were more comfortable keeping the ball in hand. There were some exchanges of kicking from both sides, but not so much the Murray box kick. It's there for Violi. Well, it should have been there. Yes. Was there a little knock forward?
Knock on first by Ireland over here.
There was a knock forward. Ireland's visits to the 22, 8 visits to the 22 in that first half. Just the 2.5 minutes in the 22, but look what they came away with.
Well, that is the difference. That's 3 tries.
Luca.
2 in that corner.
Yeah, 2 in the corners for Keenan. CJ Stander just picking up and truffling over for the one near the post. But that, again, that's the clinical aspect of the professional game. When you get into the kill zone, the red zone, or whatever you want to call it, you have to come away with points. And it is Italy's problem. Like I said, they carry well throughout the tournament. They get in positions well, but it's, again, they don't do the right thing.
Good pictures from
And by comparison, as we have a little bit of medical attention on the Italian side, the number of
time on.
visits to the 22, just the 2.
Same standard, nice and high, please.
Italy. And there you go, no tries. They did come away though with 3 points.
The game could have swung, couldn't they, when Doris turned that ball over when they were right under Ireland's post, and they could have got a try there, and then all of a sudden this game could be reflected totally different. It hasn't done because they couldn't keep hold of the ball. Ireland went the length of the field, Keenan's second try.
Decent scrum from the Italians.
Use it, take
at
it
the feet
up.
of Pelledri, but it'll be left for Violi. Told to get on with it. He does, a little bit slowly, and Will Connors will happily make those tackles all day long. Italy, though, secure possession. Back on the shorter side.
No.
Violi once more. Taken by Pelledri. But Italy going backwards with those carries, caught behind the gain line by Ireland's tacklers.
Sorry, right, and they're standing still, that's the problem. So the only option now is to fly off just to kick it. But again, that's too long, and Ireland can do numerous things, either run it out or hoof it a long way down the park.
Yeah, onside.
Garbisi feels Stockdale's kick, and it's Stockdale who's up to make the tackle on the young out half, and Stander goes
he's
in.
off his feet, let it go!
Almost
Good
had
to
it,
start with,
it's
lost
still
his
there
feet.
for Italy. Brown Stain carries into the Irish half. Carlo Cana, who had a big influence in the first 20 minutes, but has since been much quieter. Canone in the second row. Connor's up again. Canone barely had the ball and he was chopped down. And once more, the option is to kick, and Violi sends that one down. Now Conway has a bit of space in front of him. Keenan is there on his shoulder. Murray there, and Ireland have possession. Connors to Tyke Byrne, the two blue scrum caps combine. Murray, Sexton, and a little bit of a gap for Stander, who's eventually put down by his opposite number. Sexton once more, big open space in behind the advancing Italian back three, or two as it was over there. And then Sexton picks out the tackle, or picks out the kick, I should say. And then right.
Well, that's the difference again. It's the power that Ireland can exert on the sides with actually their carrying game, because when that ball comes out to Sexton, or if there's a receiver outside, there's almost three options. You can give it to one of the back row forwards, you can give it to a second row forward, you can put it out the back. Hence, the Italian defence then is struggling. If we don't know where he's coming, and then all of a sudden Sexton says, well, we've done enough of this, I'll just pop that in. So from, you know, a perceived area of weakness with the kick tennis, they're in a great position now, pushing Italy straight underneath the back to their 10-metre line.
Sun is out. A very quiet Dublin city. Over in the background, Leinster's home ground, the RDS, and back into the Aviva Stadium. There is the table as it stands. Ireland, France and England all tied on 13 points. Concern over Tyke Byrne, and if Ireland have a problem, an injury problem at the moment, you can see he took a bit of a bang there to the right shoulder. It is in the second row, though. Byrne is back up and able to continue. There's no Ian Henderson, who's suspended. Quinn Rue is injured. Ryan Baird injured. So Ireland can ill afford another injury in the second row.
5, I think.
Italian captain, shortened Italian line-out, defensive line-out, and Lazzaroni just about got his fingernails to it, and Pelledri gathers it, and Italy breathe a collective sigh of relief. Garbisi back in the pocket, and this one finds touch, but decent work from Ireland around the fringes. They just keep the Italians pinned back in there, and they'll get the throw into the line-out.
But again, they just get enough people in there, and just to frustrate Italy, they can't get quick ball back. You can't give the fly half chance to have a settled kick. It's all fractious for them, whereas that's the way Ireland want to play the game, only in defence. You know, really pushing up hard in defence, and also in any contact area, whether it be the scrum or the line-out, they put pressure on people, and the result is a fantastic line-out on the 22.
Here's Sexton. On the angle is Robbie Henshaw. Quick ball for Conor Murray. Sexton back inside. Stander is the one to make himself available. Beattie makes the tackle. Murray digs it out to Porter, who is a big, strong man. Proves the point. Stander to James Ryan. No change there as the Italians come up quickly. That's good work at the breakdown, and Pelledri gets the kudos for putting himself in there and ripping the ball back on the Italian side.
It just came from a tip pass that CJ Stander was trying to give. I think it was to James Ryan. It didn't come off. There you go, then slightly forward, I think, but James Ryan straight away. Pelledri, there's an opening there. That was good play, straight on top of the ball. He's absorbing the hits that are coming in. He's holding his own weight, and now maybe that turnover might just spark something for Italy.
Well, the Italians are looking at emptying their bench of forwards. All four forwards, four of the forwards have got their bibs off and are ready to come in. The entire front row will be replaced en masse, and also into the game will come David Ceci, who can play in either the second row or the back row. So we'll see what the decision is of Franco Smith in a couple of moments' time.
Off the legs.
Meantime, Italy
One stop.
in a messy ball.
There's the ball. Step back now, please.
Eventually get it back on their side. And Violi with a kick that's going to be contestable, and Keenan, well, It should have been contestable, but it was all his, and he does well.
It came from that second receiver, Canna, who's playing inside centre. He just pointed up, get that ball up in the air, and I don't think they need to put the ball up, they need to put the ball through the hands, because that was a terrible kick.
Johnny Sexton crossfield kick, Conway underneath this, and it's back on the Irish side. Referee says it's gone backwards, and we will be out of play on that far side, and it'll be an Italian throw into the line-out, and here come the changes.
Too much noise, okay, guys? 1, 2, 3, and 5.
So the front row moves en masse. So Zilocci, Bigi, and Fischetti go, which means a debut for hooker Gianmarco Lucchesi, Simone Ferrari, Petro Ceccarelli all come into the front row, and David Sisi comes in for Nicolo Canone in the second row. 20-year-old Gianmarco Lucchesi, Benetton hooker, makes his debut. That is he. And another from a decent under-20 Italian side last year that Garbisi was also part of.
Well, you've got to say, I mean, the game has probably gone away from Italy, barring an absolute miracle, so why not? You know, you got England, big game out in Rome next weekend, that may or may not decide the Six Nations Championship.
Speed of Will Connors again, up on Canna, and Hayward gets the ball, but way back behind the gain line.
Use it!
Here's the replacement, Ceccarelli.
Use it!
Brief prop forward. One of two in the 23 that don't play their club rugby in Italy. The other, number 8, Pellegrini. It's not forward. A mistake by Jacob Stockdale.
Was a mistake again. But that's good from Italy. They put a very good box kick. I wonder if he's there. Yes, he's second, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
on debut. Mr. Connors, 13. Byrne doing very well with 14. And again, that's the difference. They're going out hunting, aren't they? They're hunting as a pack, in a sense that they just put so much pressure on Italy in every respect. There you go, exactly. Fantastic pictures there, just showing the pressure they put on, and if you're a fly half or a ball carrier in that position, at the corner of the eye, all you can see is this green lumberjack coming at you, and you know what's the result of it is you're going to lose your legs.
Crouch! Fine!
Right, Italy, come on, let's see what you've got.
Okay. Get to set. Yeah, no. Let's go. Control.
I'm looking forward to, I'm sure he will be on this Irish reserve scrum half, Gibson Park. You heard a lot about him. Very quick, good service, very sharp.
Yeah, no doubt he'll get a run, make his international debut. Ireland do have one player stripped off on the sideline. It's Dave Heffernan.
Fine.
Going at hooker.
Set. Take the ball out, stay back, Connor. Take it out.
Violi told to take it out, and he does. And the pass doesn't go to hand, but it's dealt with by Morisi, but nothing he could do with it when he got it.
No, Bundy.
Violi. And Ireland again hunting in packs, and the Italians going backwards, keeping the ball at least and looking to try and find a weakness in that Irish defensive line. Canna. Byrne tries to rip it and does, but it's Lazzaroni who latches onto it. Advantage being played to the Italians. Canna has a free play, and nothing comes of it.
Tackle, no clear release.
Penalty comes.
Yeah, and they'll go into the corner with this. I think it was Porter.
Assist tackle, no clear release before going back on the ball.
Yeah, that was it for. You've got to release that ball. He didn't release to give Italy a chance to get that ball back. But again, it's pointless going for the poles. He's going to put this as close to that 5 metre line as he possibly can.
Time off.
Heffernan is into the game, and it means that Rob Herring will make way. Dave Heffernan, just his second cap, the 29-year-old. Last cap against the United States back in 2017, so big afternoon for him. Herring did reasonably well. One line out went astray early on in that red zone. Outside of that, he's made a bit of a nuisance of himself in
Water off, please, guys.
defensive line for Ireland.
Let's go. Time on.
We'll resume with the Italian penalty, and Garbisi will go into the 22. Can Italy do something now? They're in that 22, led by captain Bram Steen, with Bigi gone. The number 7 takes over the captaincy.
Stay out.
Not the best kick from the fly-off, Garbisi. He could have given his forwards another 10 metres or so. I suppose he didn't want to overcook it. He's a young lad, only 20 years of age. Good future, obviously. But now, like you said, can Italy...
No is the answer. James Ryan gets a big hand in.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. You build them up and they let you down.
Just Italy's second line out lost, but crucially in a position of the field where they needed to secure possession.
No hands! Step back.
Murray's kick stays in field. Taken by Bellini. It's the substitute prop. Beautifully named Ferrari. Garbisi. Big tackle from Caelan Doris.
Still in,
Someone needs to play scrum half for the Italians. Cian Healy was tempted, and that's a soft penalty, and it gives the Italians the opportunity to go back into the 22 and maybe make amends. And the lip readers amongst you will tell exactly what Cian Healy thought of that.
But you've got to say, not that I'm defending a referee, I think they do a fantastic job. We wouldn't have a game winner, but Mathakali has made it absolutely clear from the first minute. When Murray got sin bin, in a sense, it wasn't the first minute, but you know what I mean. And he tells people, get off the ball, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. And Cian Healy can't not touch it, and that's why the penalty was given. You can't say he's not making it clear for both sides of players out there. It's the last time I'm praising a referee, as you know. He's got a hard job to do, but he's a good ref.
Play on. All backwards, play on.
Scrappy Italian line out. It was inside the 22. They find themselves 5 metres outside the 22, but
let him go now.
The bonus is they still have the ball. Tried to slip it on to Lazzaroni to make the hold.
Let him go.
Was in there. Sexton also, Violi, and Garbisi and Cana, Morisi, and Paravani.
No 6, good choice.
Up comes Connors to crunch once more.
It was a blue foot.
Garbisi as Byrne, the 2 top tacklers for Ireland, make another one each. As Cana finds himself almost back on the halfway line. That one's knocked backwards. Morisi gathers
Anyone
it.
Got anything but play on.
Says the referee. Oh, someone's called his attention for a forward pass.
Connors is up to 15 tackles now. But again, it's just a big green, oppressive if you're Italian. There he goes again. Just he's forcing them to make. They've got to try something. They've got to offload. They've got to get the ball moving. But the problem is, there's no options really for it. There's no momentum into their game. They're just popping the ball one out and hoping that someone will crash through the defence. Well, you're not crashing through this Irish defence this afternoon. So, the only option then is to kick the ball, but they haven't got enough weapons to utilise that or to frighten Ireland, because the Ireland back three, as I said, both wingers play full-back. They're very happy, they're very capable.
17.
Change for the Italians, another debutant in Federico Mori, wearing number 23. He'll come in for Luca Morisi.
Then water off, please. Water off.
The centre.
Let's go.
But from an Ireland point of view now, they have to get this fourth try to put pressure on England going into that final game.
Both loose heads. We need to be both higher. You're both hitting down. Okay, that's why that last scrum.
Smith, he knew it was going to be a hard job. Well, it is, because I think last time Italy beat Ireland was 2013. Am I right, Mr. Stats?
Correct.
And Italy have only one more game in the championship in the Six Nations since then.
Yeah, beat Ireland in Rome by 22 points to 15. 31 games between these sides. The internationals, 27 for Ireland, 4 for Italy, no draws.
And there's a lot of pressure on Italy, because I know Georgia got beaten by 8 tries to whatever to 1 last night, but it's the first hit out. A lot of talk about Georgia coming in the Six Nations. It'll be very interesting. The cup that's coming up.
Oh, intercept! And a lifeline thrown to the Italians as Padovani will scamper home. Read it beautifully. Nobody in the backfield for Ireland. and Italy have their first try of the afternoon. The man from Benetton seizes his opportunity, and in he goes for his 7th international try.
And it almost needed something like this. It was going swimmingly for Ireland. Everything was going well. And that big pass out from Sexton off his right hand was read all the way.
Let him put the ball in.
By Padovani. There you go.
And once he'd gathered it, well, there was simply no way Ireland were going to get back to defend. And then he goes, and Italy have the first points of the second half, and with the conversion to come for Garbisi, it's as straightforward as they come, and over it goes, and we're back to a 14-point game after 15 minutes of the second half.
All right, Lukey.
And into the game for Ireland.
Indeed.
As you watch that Sexton pass to Henshaw, he just drifted off it, Rowie Henshaw. That's what Sexton will tell you. He just drifted off that pass, and Padovani saw the opportunity. Change for Ireland in the front row. Cian Healy is out, and Ed Byrne comes in to win his first international cap, 27 years of age. Leinster player. His twin brother Brian is currently playing in the Gallagher Premiership for Bristol, and came through the Leinster Academy together. Brian off to Bristol. Ed Byrne gets his international debut.
And they're a commentator's nightmare because they are identical.
Absolutely.
You know well. But again, it's the vogue at the moment. It's this big Finn Russell pass, isn't it? Whatever. And Sexton just didn't quite hit that right. I don't mind him trying it again. The game, I think, is well out of the reach of the Italians, but it might just spur no Ireland onto that crucial fourth try.
Stockdale's kick is watched and gathered and dealt with really well by Garbisi, who's shown glimpses in this game of what he's capable of. Violi, Negri.
Hold in front, hold. Thank you, onside from the winger.
Now, maybe something here for Conway and Keenan to conjure up. Keenan bursts in, and Ryan is on his shoulder. And James Ryan carries up to the halfway line. A quick ball here, which it isn't.
Feet, let it go,
Might have had
let it go.
Italy in a bit of trouble. Sexton back inside to Tyke Byrne, and Will Connors is on his shoulder. Murray, Sexton, little dink in behind. Henshaw goes after it, but the ball will beat him and Hayward to the touchline, and it'll be a throw into the Italians.
Yeah, no problem. Time
A
off.
little bit of a delay for a moment as
There he is.
over to collect a missing boot goes the substitute Federico Mori. There's Ed Byrne.
Time's off. That clock is not correct.
Not bad on your debut to come on, is it? With 20 odd minutes to go or so, things are slightly going swimming. Apart from that, apart from that interception try, so it's not a bad time to have your debut. I'm sure he's got a fantastic future ahead of him. There he is, the chopper.
Let's go, water off. Let's go, Italy.
I just love it because it's again, you know what he's going to do. There's nothing you can, but it's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
But as you rightly said, when you're playing with a player like that, if you've got 6, 8, 5, any number on your back, and you know Connors is there, your first job is not to tackle. Your first job is to get over the ball.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Conor Murray for Hugo Keenan. And Ireland could really do with
Tackle, let him
spending
go.
a little bit of time down in Italian territory. No score in this second half for an Irish side that finished the first with a flurry of points. Sexton gets away and looks for support. Ryan is on his shoulder. Henshaw there as well. Murray will dig it out.
Advantage.
And it finds its
Off
way
his
to
feet, making a tackle.
Ed Byrne.
Let it
Advantage
go.
being played to Ireland.
Play
So
advantage.
free play for Bundyaki. CJ Stander picks out Cannon, who gets
Penalty
to the ground,
advantage,
but
Connor.
Stander gets some forward momentum. Keane and Henshaw. Stockdale joins the line. Conway's had precious little opportunity to attack. He does so now.
Still playing.
Murray. Stander. It's in these positions that Ireland are seeking accuracy with this momentum. Italian player all over the ball, but legally for the referee because he's going back for the penalty. And it was Ferrari who cut off the opportunity for Ireland, so back will go for the penalty at the previous breakdown.
No prizes for what Johnny Sexton's going to do with this. Straight into the corner. How brave are you, Johnny? Pretty brave. That was a good kick. You can just see there, the ball isn't clear enough for Murray to come up at Sexton. 35 still makes a break straight through there to set the ball up, and that's what Ireland have done on much more occasions than Italy, is actually break that defensive line and then be able to run off it. And that's the problem, because from an Italy point of view, they just haven't had any chance to do it because of the tackling that Ireland have put into this game. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, 6. Let's come in then, please.
So then, Ireland in search of a bonus point try inside the Italian 22. Heffernan with the throw.
Maul in 5. Taken to ground by Green.
And now the hooker.
You play away, play away.
But the maul disintegrates, and Heffernan is forced to go around the corner where he meets the sizable frame of Negri. And it's another penalty.
There's going to be
the Italians offside.
Sorry, Rob, there's going to be a card coming in a minute because they're just ratcheting at penalties at the moment. We were up to... They were on 4 at the start of this game. They're back up to 7 now. So it's one after the other.
As a look at the defensive efforts of both sides. 130 tackles from Ireland versus 90 or 89 from the Italians.
Let's come, Ireland.
Heffernan and Ireland on the Italian 5-metre line. All sorts of movement. Doris is held up just long enough to claim possession, and the maul gets a real momentum behind it early, and they're over, and the arm is raised, and Ireland have their bonus point. Who's the man to get up with the ball? It looks like it's Connors, is it? On debut, is going to get the slaps on the head and on the back. And Ireland's second debutant of the day to score a try is Will Connors. Keenan with 2 in the first half, Connors with 1 in this second. Ireland have 4 in total, and they have their bonus point. Well, it was always on from here because they got the ball and the momentum came immediately.
That's the word, momentum. It's straight away again. They had it settled, and then they were going in towards the posts. There's 2 options for Italy there. They either let them score it or they bring them down and probably go down to 14 men. So actually they haven't done that, but there's no way stopping this guy. Again on debut, Keegan's got 2, he's got 1. Everything in the garden's rosy.
Well, it took 20 minutes of the second half to find that 4th try and the bonus point, but it's secured now, and an extra 2 for Sexton on offer, and I guess and now an opportunity for Ireland to play with a little less restraint. The game is surely secure, the bonus point is secure, and they will be going in search of as many points as they can in this final quarter. Sexton with the kick to start us. Strike from Sexton is good. It's another 2, and Ireland are up to 31 points to 10. Another couple of changes for Ireland. James Ryan is gone as you watch Will Connors try, and in his place comes Ultan Delan to win his 16th cap, the Connacht second row. And also in the front row, Andrew Porter is gone, and another Connacht man, Finlay Bealham, comes in to win his 10th international cap, his last cap back in 2018 against the United States. And a change also for the Italians have brought in Johan Mayer into the second row, and Lazzaroni is gone.
Now it's about how many points, how many tries Ireland can get in the remaining 18 or so minutes, 17 minutes. Because again, the defence has been good, so Italy I don't think will pose too many threats to them. And obviously that 1 interception try, it's been pretty good this afternoon. So Ireland really need to crank it up now and really go for the throat.
Hayward runs into Heffernan and Bealham and Delan, the 3 substitutes combining to make the Italians retreat. Stander looks to do it on his own. Ed Byrne there to offer a little help. Violi, Stockdale secure. And then off to the races, Jacob Stockdale back inside, well taken by Byrne to keep his ground, and the ball in play as well. Beelum launches himself into the carry. Keenan, gap opened, and Keenan tried to go through it, but it was closed quickly by Garbisi and Cana. Sexton. Stockdale, who started it all off. Murray jumps over the bodies in the way and gets the ball away again to
now
Byrne.
Off the ball.
Tackle is from Johan Mayer. Better from Ireland. Henshaw needs support, has it from Keenan. Stander out on the wing. CJ Stander uses the pace, uses the power, and pushes Ireland into the 22. Conor Murray now. Caelan Doris. Doris 4 meters away, 2 meters away, twists and turns, but he's put to ground. Murray, Sexton, try. Fifth one of the afternoon. Delight for Johnny Sexton. A bit of precision, a bit of power, a bit of accuracy, and a bit more joy for this Irish 15.
A bit of Irish magic there. That's the best try we've seen this afternoon so far. Plenty of time to go, 15 minutes or so. The offloading was superb. The dynamism was brilliant. Look at CJ Stander, back row forwards out in the wing. I don't mind that if they do the damage, and that's exactly what he's done there. He presents the ball brilliantly, and that word you used before, momentum, it's all going one way. It's power, it's pace, it's the right thing to do. And then Sexton literally just walked it in and they went. Conor Murray's in an absolute armchair there. He can hit 3 people, he hits his fly half, he hits his captain, and like I said, I think the floodgates are about to open at the Aviva.
14th international try for Jonathan Sexton in that Irish number 10 jersey, and he's going to have a new halfback partner in a moment. Looks like Conor Murray is going to be replaced. In fact, he has already been replaced in Jamison Gibson-Park. More on him in a moment. Another change for Ireland as Sexton lines up this conversion. Caelan Doris is gone, and the very experienced Peter O'Mahony comes in to win his 68th international cap. Sexton snapped at that one a little, left and wide. 36 points to 10, Ireland lead.
Some big carries. Doris again. He had a big rap, didn't he, in the first game, and only lasted about 3 minutes against got concussed. But again, that's the power game that Ireland have at their hands, in a sense. Doris took some stop in there, but again, it's the recycling, the speed of the recycling.
Garbisi will get us underway once more, and CJ Stander. And Ireland have 13 minutes more to build on this points tally. Gibson-Park, there he is, wearing 9. Born in Auckland, Taranaki Blues Hurricanes. And now Ireland. Sexton gathers at Gibson-Park. Proud day for him and his family. Stockdale and Conway. And into the corner Ireland go as well. Gibson-Park, by the way, qualifying under the residency rule. As it stands, that's the way the Guinness Six Nations table looks and is likely to look this evening, with the points difference the one thing that might change a little.
That's the one to look at, points difference. Bearing in mind, Ireland have got to go to Paris to play France, obviously, and England go to Italy. So England and plus 15, Ireland 31. So at the moment, they're 16 points ahead of England.
15.
Points difference.
More now! Christoph, you happy? Okay, no problem. Same more. Happy with 8, Christoph? Yeah. Once.
Of course, if Ireland were to win with the bonus point in Paris,
Yes. And look, I mean, they're capable of doing. We've all seen the French, but this French side.
Turnover's good. First on his feet, no problem.
We've seen a corner being turned in France, no matter what happens over the next week or two.
What a pass.
Bundyaki picks up a pass from heaven. And in he goes. Bundyaki gets another one for Ireland. But let's go back and look at that pass. Ireland are enjoying themselves now.
Peter O'Mahony, take a bow. Again, you know, don't leave it to the backs to do all the flash stuff. This is, again, turnover time from Italy. They're killing themselves out there by just doing simple mistakes. Peter O'Mahony, number 20, just come on. Look at that, takes two people out. Bundyaki knows exactly what he's doing. Nearly gets tripped by momentum. Aquaplanes in, look at that.
Oh, wonderful. Bundyaki tip-tackled, but the momentum got him there.
And that point,
Doesn't he love it? Doesn't he love it?
But that's what it means. They've got to keep ratcheting up these points. All of a sudden now, what's that? Another, if he gets converts this over, it's in the 20s. Well, points difference so important now.
No doubt Peter O'Mahony will have been stung by being not starting in this Irish back row. He's been around for a long time, 68th international cap, and bucket loads of experience, bucket loads of dog. But now with moments like that proving that the skill set as he's got older gets better.
Cheers, mate.
Very deliberate once more from Jonathan Sexton, and having snapped the last one, he sends that one through, and he will walk happily, well, as happily as Jonathan Sexton ever does, to the touchline, and his understudy for Leinster and Ireland, Ross Byrne, will come into the game. But that was a terrific pass.
He'll be dining on that for many, many times to come. Again, if they just keep going and going, because they're going to set up, you mentioned that Super Saturday next weekend. It's going to be amazing if they can just keep these points coming. That'll make England have to play really well, obviously, out in Italy. Whatever then happens between France and Ireland will happen. It's just good, and I just love when Ireland really do open up and get away from this box-kicking game, the static game that they play. Just let it go. Get the wingers the ball.
Ross Byrne, Robbie Henshaw, Bundyaki start from inside their 22. Conway comes back on the angle, and he tests and he tests and he teases. And he's eventually put to ground. Gibson Park with a Class A service from scrum half. Will Connors still got bucket loads of energy. Keenan, 2 tries to his name, just didn't control that, and it's knocked forward, and Italy will get the respite of a scrum.
Mistakes will happen when you play in this type of rugby, but again, the people like Connors has got some engine on him. He's not only a chopping machine. The open side, the debutant for Ireland. I've been incredibly impressed with him. This guy's got 2 tries. But again, it's just the combination of forwards and backs together, knowing what to do. And bearing in mind, they haven't played together for 8 months. You know, they can go in, you can go in camp, but nothing replicates a game. It's pre-season training. Nothing replicates you ready when you get out there and pull your boots and you play against an opposition. And this is an international match.
Italy, have you? I think so. They've
That's
got
the
9 on the
face
bench
of
still.
Maxime Mbanda, who, if there were a crowd here, I think would have got one of those ovations rarely seen for players from the opposition team. Mbanda quite simply has become something of a hero in rugby circles for his efforts in northern Italy as a volunteer fireperson during the pandemic. He put himself right on the front line and did it quietly, but as it does, leaked out, and his significant sacrifice for his community has been noted throughout the rugby world in the Northern Hemisphere, and he is into this Italian side.
They've both gone in on the far side. Come on. The far side.
Maxime Mbanda, 21 international caps, and heck of a fella.
Give him a space, though.
Enough said. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Crouch.
Braley's in at scrum half for Italy.
Fine.
Free kick.
Gotta go. Go quick. Oh, come on. It's a free kick. The arms.
Pretty engaged, far side. Leaning over. 10 metres. Scrum. Scrum. Okay, scrum. Scrum. Big length across the space. You must hold yourself back. Let's go.
All the substitutes from both sides used at this point.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
That one is locked out.
Callum, take it out.
Garbisi. Mori trying to create something in midfield. Around comes the try scorer Padovani. But he's held up, and he's got held
Still
up
moving.
till the maul hits the ground, and Ireland will win the turnover.
Use the top 3 inches, Italy. You're running into Robbie Henshaw's what? 6'3", 4'3" at 17 stone. Bundiaki's in there, and you're not a big lad yourself, so don't run into these guys.
Well, there you go.
Italy.
96 carries for Ireland, 95 carries for Italy, and there is the tail of the tape. 688 yards versus 476, 9 line breaks against 3, and that's really all you need to know about the difference between these two sides in this game.
And that's exactly in the proverbial nutshell.
Right,
it's
yeah.
basically
Okay,
the
time's
line
on, let's
breaks
go.
that make those carries, in a sense. They bosh
Let's go,
through the
Italy.
line, then the options open up. Most international defences are so good and so claustrophobic these days, it's very
In the
difficult.
space, on the outside,
9
okay,
clean
on the
breaks,
outside.
and then boom, the dam is broken. You can get through, then it's left and right, and off you go.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Gibson Park at the blind side here.
That's what you would have done.
Oh, yes.
Free kick.
Push. You must be
Ireland.
steady. It's a free kick.
Stander will take it
that's
quickly.
it.
And here is Gibson Park, and that's a pass out to Stockdale, and Stockdale was told to go wide, but holds onto the ball and makes the break, and Keenan had to go back for it, but did well. Stander, who's got some battery life, still going.
89 metres he's carried today.
Henshaw keeps it in field, and Jefferson Park will. Gibson Park will play. And continues to do so. Ross Byrne. Bundiaki stopped when he saw the Italians had come up out wide. Gibson Park again. Ross Byrne. Keenan in to do the clear-out work. Scrum half should be able to see it. Eventually does. CJ Stander. On he carries. Tyg Byrne took a terrific run and was well picked out by Ireland's substitute scrum half. Aki O'Mahony.
Backed out. You backed out.
Ulton Delan. You can see
Not
the
now, not
confidence in
now.
Ireland has grown, and the accuracy has been solid through these phases. They want another one.
They do, don't they? One more try, give them extra bonus points to going into that game, or England's game against Italy. Oh,
That's good work at the breakdown. The Italians got a body in, and that body is the substitute, Simone Ferrari. And Garbisi will take the relief after waves of Irish attack coming at them. And it's time for the Guinness Player of the Match, who we have to say was chosen by the host broadcaster, as former Ireland international Alan Quinlan, and he's gone with that man, Will Connors. It has to be said, it's hard to argue with.
I totally agree. I like to argue, well, I do argue with Quinny a lot, but on this occasion, no. Initially, I think the Byrne scored 2 tries, but this guy, I wouldn't say he's a freak of nature. He's actually a bit old school. He chops people down to give other people a chance of turnovers, so he's actually unselfish in a sense the way he plays, plus his carrying, plus that tackling, as I said, and he scored a try in debut. I had no problem whatsoever with Quinny's decision. Guinness man of the match.
I think you could have probably had a look at Hugo Keane and Tyg Byrne as well. CJ Standers had a big impact in this second half in particular. Here is Stander.
That's a tackle, let him
For
go!
once he doesn't make any ground, he's knocked backwards, and Gibson Park has a look one way, then the other, then held on, and it was the right decision as the options were cut off. Connors, little bit of scrum half, round the corner.
He can play anywhere now. He's been given man of the match.
12! Enough!
Step back is the message for Kana, which he does. Heffernan had a decent little cameo since he's come on. 2 minutes left on the clock. Are there any more points in this one for Ireland to celebrate ahead of next weekend's final weekend of the Guinness Six Nations O'Mahony? Probably should have held on there.
Okay, that's good counter.
Counter ruck referee is happy with, and it's advantage being played to Ireland, and Byrne eventually emerges with it. Great feet, Stockdale to bounce out of the first tackle, and the penalty eventually comes.
Go, go, go.
Counter up was good.
Go, go, go. Are you want to go? What have we got left? A minute and a half. Yeah, you could go into the corner. You get this right.
I think that's the decision. Spurn to the corner.
One more try.
Really good. Got everything out of that, Ross Byrne.
Great kick.
Understudy to Sexton at Leinster. Understudy to Sexton.
Italy on the 5.
With Ireland, and 7 international caps now. He's just 25 years old. His brother is his understudy at Leinster.
Keep it in the family, Ireland. Keep it in the family.
Harry third.
Fantastic. Well, the Irish forwards have had the mothers' meeting now. Most of the backs are in there, so I'd be interested to see where this goes. I think it'll see what happens. Try and get that rumble on, a little bit of momentum, and watch these backs flood in to try and get them over the line for maybe, possibly, that crucial, one more crucial try.
Some more.
Taken by Byrne, and it's with Heffernan, and it's winding its way, or arcing its way towards the Italian line. Now they straighten it, try and put a little bit of power behind it, and get the momentum going, and they're over the line, and can they ground? They can! It's another one in the bag for Ireland. And is it Connors again? Well, we'll have to go back and confirm that. And Heffernan is picked out by our director.
CJ.
And who's to argue with him as Ireland take the conversion attempt really quickly in attempt to get the game restarted again. It's good, the conversion attempt. And Ireland, we will get a restart from the Italians. Byrne and the maul are the weapon to lead to that try once again, and it is in the arms of Heffernan.
It is Heffernan, yeah. Good try, good score, good points, and they know how important that could be.
And there was what happened immediately after. Ross Byrne, quick thinking, try and get it over and get the game restarted.
Yeah, well, this is going to be great. Harlem Globetrotters now.
50 points to 10.
The thing is, they don't want to give away a try, Ireland, and they've just knocked that ball forward.
Knocked it forward. Advantage being played to the Italians.
Stay on side.
I think O'Mahony thought he had a support jumper there.
Advantage over for the knock on.
In his jump, and just misread it. Mayer. You're right, Dowie. The last thing Ireland want to do now is to
do all that good work up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Finlay Bealham goes after the ball, leaves it. Banda offers himself as a carrier. It'll be eventually make its way out onto that more open side. Brayley, and Ireland just going through and making the tackles. Brayley once more. Jaden Hayward. Henshaw makes the tackle. Conway goes after the ball. And Hayward. And Italy still have it. Banda, Brayley, Garbisi, and there's a little gap there, and Garbisi's through it, and off he goes. And Ireland are going to get sucker punched in the end, and Garbisi on debut. The young man is in for the try.
That is a shame if you're an Irish fan, but a delight if you're an Italian fan. 20 years of age, he is the future of Italian rugby, and he's just showed you in the 82nd minute of what his potential is. Under 20s he was class, and he's class now in the senior side.
Well, Ireland will be absolutely furious with themselves for allowing that to happen, and it all came from just not managing the restart properly, knocking it forward, advantage being played to Italy, and they were going side to side, but that gap just opened up as they tried to come out wide to stop the long pass going. Garbisi saw the hole, and didn't he do well?
How crucial could that be? How crucial. If they get a bonus points against France, it won't matter. But if they just get a win against France and England start ratcheting some points up against Italy, well, we'll have to tune in next week.
Well, that's that at the Aviva Stadium. Ireland utterly dominant, and having scored their bonus point try after 20 minutes of the second half, they really closed that one out, winning it by 50 points to 17. We're all set up for next week. So we will head towards next week with Ireland leading the way with 14 points, England and France 13 points apiece, Scots on 10, Wales and Italy are way back in terms of trying to get their hands on the trophy. And when you think of the games, you try and preempt, we all will, what will happen next week. You think England should take a bonus point win from their trip to Rome, which would give them 18, which means that France are going to have to match that, so bonus point win over Ireland, which is a much bigger ask to match the 18, and the points difference, well, you can see how close that is. For Ireland, it means a 4-point win, which would be, or sorry, 4 points for a win against France would get them to 18, so it comes down to points difference. I mean,
it's going to be great, mate. It is going to be good, because England haven't got a hit out because there was a few idiots who went out for the Barbars and spoilt that. So Eddie Jones' side goes in very, very, very rusty to Italy. There is going to be a response from this Italian side. Ireland now, yeah, they're all smiles, but they've got to go to France. Who knows what French team is going to be or turn up, because they've got incredible talent. They could still nick it. My word, what a Saturday we're in for.
Yeah, it sounds and looks and feels like it's going to be one that you won't want to miss, and all three games will have a little bit of edge to them as the day progresses. The stakes will be heightened, and well, you can pick your own favourite from the three, England, France and Ireland, as to who will be the Guinness Six Nations champions at the end of next Saturday evening and crowned for 2020. And the Italians having a little bit of a team meeting and a bonding moment in the middle of the Aviva as the Irish Guard of Honour waits to clap them from the field. You look at the performances today, and we singled out Will Connors as the man of the match. Keenan did really well on debut as well, didn't he? And the teams are gathering themselves to leave the pitch, but we are going to get an interview while we wait for that. And there is the man, Will Connors, who is the Guinness Six Nations man of the match, and it's time for us to hear from him now.
Well, congratulations, Will Connors. You are the Guinness Six Nations player of the match. How did you feel after that?
Tired. Yeah, no, that was special getting out there for my first day, and you know, as a group we're fairly proud. You know, it means a lot to be part of this country's team, you know, and we just wanted to make the country proud, give them something to cheer on, so now we're delighted. Your tackling, your work rate, was the try the cherry on top? Yeah, look, I don't score many tries, didn't really know what to do, but look, it was a team effort together between 23 of us. We stood together and we talked about it all week, so no, we're unbelievably proud of that performance, and we'll kick on now. Yeah, you're top of the table now, going to Paris next week. Is there the sense that anything is possible? Yeah, look, we're extremely excited. We've talked about it all week. We're taking each challenge as it comes, and you know, we're going to France with our heads held high and we're ready to go. An unbelievably excited group. Well done, Will. Yeah, thank you. Well, Johnny, how do you rate that performance?
Pretty good. Look, it was scrappy at times, as it always is when you haven't played together for however many months, 6, 7 months. So we knew it was going to be a bit like that, but I'm proud of the effort of the lads. It was outstanding. lads on debut like Will and Hugo Keenan, outstanding. Burn off the bench, and Gemma, delighted for them. It's a special day for them and their families, and ultimately that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to give them a special memory, and any time you put 50 points on an international team, you've done a lot good. We did a couple of things that we'd like to take back. Obviously the intercept I'd like to take back, but these things happen, and I'm proud of how we bounced back from the mistakes that we made.
Yeah, as I said, you go to Paris now next week, top of the table. Will you go there with a real belief, Johnny?
Yeah, look, I think what a 33 points difference we got on top. So points difference might not be enough now. If we got maybe another score, or didn't concede at the end, 40, maybe we could have put a bit of pressure on England against Italy. But now we might have to go over and score 4. You never know. Like, we'll go and we're going to have to try and win the game. How many wins have we had in Paris over the years? Not too many. So we need to go and just concentrate on our performance. There's a lot good tonight, but there's a lot of stuff that we need to fix up and get right, because France are an outstanding team under their new coaching team, and we're going to have our work cut out.
Yeah, do you think there's more to come that you will improve? And we all remember how it finished in Paris 2 years ago. Do you think as well that you will rue that try at the end?
I don't know. We can sort of think about that, because we can talk about every mistake in the game, that we didn't take chances in the first half that we had. So we can't go back and look at everything that cost us on the points difference. We can just look at what we did. 50 points to 17. If you offered me that at the start of the day, I would have snapped your hand off for it. So we'll take it. We'll move on. We got the bonus point, and we'll go to Paris with it all to do, really. But we've got a special group. We've got a special coaching team, and I think if anyone can do, we can.
Well done. Thank you, Johnny. Let me know when to go.
Very good.
Well, how did you feel after that performance?
Yeah, it was a tough game. I think we have to manage the moment when we get the ball. We have to be patient on our 22. We consider maybe 3 easy tries that put down under pressure. But well done to the boys. We scored the last try at the end of the time. We are a young team. We have to build a step by step. I saw a lot of things, good things today, but when we get the ball, we have to be patient and disciplined.
Is that what you take out of it as well? You hung in there, you got that try in the second half, and you got the try there in the end as well?
Yeah, it was part of the game. As I said, when we get the ball, you have to be patient, and when we have to manage the time when we get the ball, be disciplined, and build the confidence during the game. And sometimes today it didn't happen. Congratulations to Highland for the good performance, and as I said, congratulations to the players who had the first cap for us today.
Do you feel that you can step it up now with the visit of England to Rome next week?
Yeah, for sure. We come back. We go back in Italy straight after this evening, and tomorrow we will start to prepare the game at home. And as I said, we are a young team. We have to build. We are working hard. Today, I saw on the field the performance. So we're really looking forward for next game against England.
Thank you.
Thank you.